project is written in C and aims to convert simple C code to Python. This project is very surface level and mostly deals with string handling and manipulation. So in our client, we extract every character from the source code file and store it in a 1D array. So this 1D array is then passed to this for loop. Executable statements and blocks of code are separated and stored in each row of this 2D array, new1. Each row of new1 is then passed to the function compare. This flowchart is a schematic of the client code. This is the interface. We have three notable functions: clean, file into array, and compare. Compare, as you will see in the server file, is the one that recognizes keywords and actually deals with the translation of C to Python. Before we dive into server, we would like to show you a simple flowchart for how one of the main functions in server, compare, works. Server begins with the function file into array, which stores every character in the file passed to it in a 1D array. Then we move on to replace substring, which conveniently replaces a substring in a main string with another string. Compare is the function that does all of the heavy lifting in this project. In the beginning of compare, you will see the variable composite. Composite takes care of the indentation that is vital for any Python code. So as mentioned earlier in the flowchart, the first word is extracted and compared with keywords in C using an if-else ladder. We begin with data types. The code also converts arrays to lists. It prints initialization without a data type as we have in Python. The next keyword is printf. We repeatedly replace each format specifier with its corresponding variable and print it. Then we have if. The code prints the condition ahead of if with a colon. The executable statements in the if block are once again passed to compare and the process is repeated. Else is similarly dealt with. For is the next keyword. The expressions inside the for statement are separated and the iterable variable is extracted. The Python statement for is for I in range lower limit to upper limit. So the lower and upper limits are extracted as well. The block of code for is once again passed into compare and the process is repeated. While is dealt with in the same way if was taken care of. Scanf was converted into the Python input statement variable is equal to int input or variable is equal to input. Other lines of code without these keywords were passed through our clean function and printed as is. Clean function passes a statement to itself till there are no more leading spaces. So now I will execute our code. So these are small programs written in C, specifically designed to show you how our code works. The first one is a program to print the next 10 odd numbers starting from a given number. So now I will execute the makefile. And as you can see, printf has turned to print. Scanf has become a is equal to int input. Then for has become for I in range a plus 1 to a plus 20. Now we will move the input to a file and execute the Python file. Enter the integer value 4. So the next 10 odd numbers from 4 have been printed. So the next piece of code deals with entering alphabets into a list and printing them out. Here of course it will be an array. So I will execute our code. So this is the output. Now I will push it to a Python file and run it. So enter 4 alphabets: A, V, I, N, A, V, I, N. Our last example is code to check if the number you've entered is prime or not. Notice how the variable in printf replaces the format specifier. I will now move the contents to a file to execute it. Positive integer, 45. 45 is not a prime number. 5 is a prime number. And that is it for our execution. In this project, we primarily learned about the syntactical differences between C and Python, basic code and language constructs, the fundamental differences between the compilation of C and Python functions. We largely dealt with string manipulations and functions associated with string manipulation, such as strstr, strrchr, strtok_r, and other such functions. We have learned array handling, variables and their scopes and how to use them to our advantage. We have also learned basic file handling. We learned a lot about string pointers and using them along with arrays as parameters to functions. We learned the fundamentals of functions and recursive functions. We have also learned about error handling and memory management at the lowest level through pointers and errors dealing with arrays. We have more of an idea now than when we started about why a certain error like segmentation fault 11 is occurring. We have a greater understanding on how to create an algorithm and logic given a problem statement. We have a little more experience in handling larger pieces of code and utilizing the client-server model to suit our needs. And of course, this project taught us a lot about collaboration and how to work together to write a program remotely. We heavily relied on Discord and other such apps. To conclude, we have developed a deeper and more sound understanding of C through this project. Thank you.